KFI AM 640 is Happy Monday here on Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube, iHeartRadio app, I guess Facebook. They don't tell me anymore. I just say we're live everywhere and just leave it at that. Assume we are live on your social media page somewhere. I'm in a pretty good mood today. Not a bad start to the Monday. It's not great news, but it's not bad news. Got a note today from the PR agency representing Eddie Murphy. Said that we're still in the running. To all of you saw the email I forwarded to you.
I did indeed.
So it's not a direct yes, but it's absolutely not a no.
It's actually you are still in consideration, and when something becomes available, an opportunity, we will let you know. So that's very promising.
And if you know anything about the business, behind the scenes, all press requests have to be run by the talent, especially when you're talking about someone the level of Eddie Murphy. He's not going to speak to anyone he doesn't want to speak to. If he doesn't want to speak to Extra, if he doesn't want to speak to Yahoo News, if he doesn't want to speak to Entertainment Tonight or E, it won't happen. It's just that simple. So it's going to be up to him. And I know that Amazon Prime has been taking a look at us because they're not going to consider us otherwise. I always say it's easier to say no. It is, trust me, it is easier in this business to just say no and get people out of their hair and not give them false hope. So that's just been my experience. Because a couple people had asked me online, it's like, so what's up with Eddie Murphy? You know, look, it's out of our control. You know, when I know something, you know something. So I got an email today from the PR agency handling the press for The Pickup, which is his new movie, which is coming out August 6th on Amazon Prime.
You know, what's interesting is when I was trying to get Eddie Murphy on for the last Beverly Hills Cop, Netflix was actually very quick with their no. They were like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your request. We are sorry. Unfortunately, at this time, we are not doing any media. That's what we were told. We saw him doing some media, but still, it was television. It wasn't radio. So we had to kind of take that, like, all right, cool.
It's hard. It's hard when you're a radio outlet trying to get movie and television personalities. I don't think people realize the amount of work which goes into it to build those relationships so they will take you seriously. Because I know it's not sexy when you say AM radio to a movie and television star. It's not. Now, there's a video component. There's social media. There's obviously the iHeartRadio app, which enhances it. But at the same time, not everyone is savvy about AM, its reach, the reach of this particular station, and also how it has moved into the 21st century in ways that other media has not.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the update. We were told that we're still in the running and they'll reach back out to us. I mean, the bad news is kind of like, don't call us, we'll call you. But we have your number and we are still looking at you. So, try to keep it positive. And I know they're listening right now. So,
yeah.
Oh, and also, we're going to talk about how California has launched this new weather tracking system to rank the severity of extreme heat. You know how we had like smog alerts back in the day? I guess it's something like that. We'll tell you about that. And it stands to be a very, very hot summer. So you definitely want to take note of that. And I have my own personal Waymo story I'm going to tell you about today. And the only reason I didn't actually tape it was because I was driving, and that would have been worse for me to get to an accident while trying to film a Waymo. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be safe, but I have a firsthand story about a Waymo which did something very dangerous and almost caused a major accident in Inglewood. And also Waymo was caught up in a shooting. Someone got shot in a Waymo. I'm not going to blame that on Waymo. I'm just saying it seems like wherever Waymo goes, trouble follows.
Okay, easy.
And did you hear Volkswagen has unveiled its Robotaxi designed to challenge Waymo right here in LA? And so within the next year, we'll have more competition in the Robotaxi autonomous vehicle market. And I was just mentioning earlier about this new weather tracking system to rank the severity of the heat. And I mentioned smog alerts. I wonder where California ranks right now among the states for lung health. Because I remember, Mark, you weren't living here. First, good evening. Mark, you weren't living here in California back in the late 1970s, I don't think.
No, I wasn't.
It was so bad. You would just see this brown haze hovering over downtown. And you would play in the summers like this, go outside and play, and your chest would start hurting just from breathing in the smog all day.
Well, I was a small kid here in the years before that, kind of like, I guess it would be the early 70s. And I remember having like wheezing, gasping fits, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with me.
Absolutely. California had some of the worst air quality back in the late 1970s. And I wonder now, many years later, whether it's had a long-term impact. I've never smoked, so I at least had that going for me. But I always wondered about the long-term implications of that bad air quality we had here in Southern California. So we're going to tell you about the top states for lung health, according to a new study. And for those who don't know, last week we did not a short segment, but we had some fun talking about the Croft All-Stars, Sid and Marty Croft All-Stars, playing some of the themes and everything. Hey, we got a nice follow from Sid Croft today on social media.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
True
That's
story.
pretty cool.
True story. So, you never know who's listening. You never know. And speaking of you never know who's listening, saw this story today, Twila. I don't know if you saw it. 5 times that Tom Cruise deserved to win an Oscar, according to the story. I've been seeing more and more stories about Tom Cruise being actively considered for an acting Oscar. I don't think it's my imagination.
No. And as you said the other day, you need to take more than no credit on this.
Not all the credit, but more than zero.
Yes.
Did you see Mark Ronner smirking like he doesn't want to give us our due credit?
Mark, you know for a fact that anything having to do with the news and Tom Cruise being considered for an Oscar started here, good sir.
Oh, no. Well, first of all, I appreciate you trying to start something with me like this. And my heart goes out to Cruz, who's been so neglected. He sorely needs this.
He
does.
Yeah.
He has been neglected.
That poor guy.
He deserves more consideration.
Who will give Tom Cruise the love he deserves? Who?
This show.
Yeah.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Oh, maybe Facebook, maybe TikTok. Carnation, what are we live on tonight?
We're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, just about everything.
I know TikTok is coming this week.
Oh, yes, TikTok is coming.
All right.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on social media. I got to tell you, seeing what we're doing now with air quality here in California really takes me back to when I was a kid, because I thought it was normal how bad our air quality was. I just took it as I had no reference point. And if you grew up here in LA, if you were old enough to remember what it used to be like, then you knew it was really, really bad. And also, it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, 12, it seems like it's also getting hotter. It's getting hotter year by year, and I'm not making a climate change argument. I'll leave that to Mark Ronner. But it just feels like it's getting hotter. I like messing with Mark.
It is
It ain't
getting
me.
hotter.
It's the scientists. Don't blame me.
It's definitely getting hotter. The darkened brown, orange, beautiful sunset skies that we used to have, that was probably protecting us from the harsh rays of the sun, because the sun rays weren't getting through that grayish fog that used to sit over the city and make you feel like you've been swimming in a pool of straight chlorine all day. Now we're getting all this sun because our protective layer has been worn out in California.
I thought the ozone was fixed. What happened to the ozone?
There's no machine up there fixing it.
Well,
How does that happen?
The ozone has healed. That's a separate issue from climate change.
Okay, see, I can't keep it all straight.
The ozone has healed, but it still has deep scars, Mark.
I see.
Scar tissue now?
Yes.
Ozone scarring. This is the first I've heard of this, but thank you.
Well, I think we all can agree, irrespective of the reasons, that it's hotter now than in years past. And although we don't have hurricanes, although we may not have tornadoes, people can die in the heat. It can be very, very dangerous, especially if you might be among the elderly. And I'm almost there, so I have to pay more attention to that. But the state, California, has launched a tool to help people like you and me better prepare for the dangerous heat. Beyond just looking at our phones and seeing what the temperature is. We have to pay closer attention to the heat index, and the California Community's Extreme Heat Scoring System, otherwise called Cal Heat Score, is going to be a public health tool that ranks your community's heat conditions every day on a scale from 0 to 4. The higher the number, the higher the risk. It sounds like it would be pretty simple. Score 0 is considered low. 1 is mild. 2 is moderate. 3 is high. And 4 is considered severe. And the Cal Heat Score is meant to be a system easy for anyone like me and you to understand. And it's going to have a hyperlocal approach. It's going to give you the heat risk down to every zip code, as opposed to just like a general temperature over a larger area. And it'll also give you some historical data to compare it to, and in other information to protect you. This also gives you information as far as nearby cooling centers and other available resources to better plan for extreme heat. You can access Cal Heat Score through their website, and they're also working on an app to give people time to real-time notifications on their cell phones. And this is something that I also think about. I worry about the heat index, not just because of me, but also worry about it for my dogs. And when I'm trying to take them out for a walk, I may think that I'm fine, but then it's like, well, 95 to me might be 105 to them. It's not like they have sweat glands, and obviously they have a fur coat to a certain degree. So I try to be mindful that this could be important to not just me, but pets as well.
When you're walking your dogs, and I know a lot of people do this, and at first it was like a big joke, but here in California, because our sidewalks and the asphalt is so extremely hot, have you and Lamu here invested in dog shoes?
We did try dog shoes at one point because the pads for the dogs, they can be very tender. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to toughen up over years, but they can still get sliced open. And so Benson, one of our schnauzers, for some reason, he had a problem where he kept getting sliced open. So we tried to buy him some dog shoes, and he would keep shaking off because he didn't like anything on his paws. But yes, we're very conscious. Like, my wife just finished taking the dogs for a walk after the day's heat. What is it like? It's 7:25 right now, so it's in a good
cooling
part of the
down.
evening. Yeah, it's cooling down. Like, I try to take my dogs for a walk on normal days, not summer days, but normal days around 2:00. If it's not 85 degrees, 2:00 is usually a good time to do it. It's right before I leave going to the office, and so they get some exercise and then they get to lay down. But if it's over 80 degrees, I wait, and my wife usually takes them for a walk when she gets home from work, because we're conscious of the heat.
Do they both have that? Do they both have that issue with the pads?
No, only Benson.
I wonder why.
Don't know. Don't know. Yes, because my wife, when she was taking tennis lessons, they would go to the court with her, and for some reason he would always kick a rock or something and get his paw sliced up, and so he was limping around. So we would buy him these doggy booties, so he could walk around. He would almost like hop step.
He hated them.
Oh, he hated them. He hated them.
You can tell.
Yeah,
because they're doing a awkward prance because they just want to get him off.
Right, but he didn't want to walk around without him because his paw was tender. And the reason I talk about this, the heat is not just about you. I remember when I was 25, I was like, it's 110. So what? So what? No, you can get heat exhaustion, heat stroke quicker than you might imagine. And also, and I had to learn this the hard way when I was in college, drinking in the sun is not a good idea.
Ooh,
not a good idea. And you may think, well, it's the 4th of July, for example. It's the 4th of July. Why don't we go out there and have a brew or two or 8, and you're in the sun?
Oof.
Your day will end very quickly.
Yep.
Well, a beer's not going to kill you, but if you go heavy on like the hard liquor, you're going to get dehydrated fast.
Well, but not only that, I'm saying if you're going to do it in the sun, you are opening yourself up to
the problem, Mark, with that a beer isn't going to kill you is no one just has a beer.
What?
There is no such thing as I'll have a drink.
Especially on a day like the 4th.
Yes, no one just says, just give me one. They start with the one, and then it's good, and it's tasty, and it's cold, and you know what? 4 or 5 later in the sun, and it's...
and all of a sudden, your ass is done at 3:00.
Well, also, I'm concerned about homeless people in this heat as well because they don't have any respite from it. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I was going to agree with you. Absolutely. And they don't have access to the information of where or the ability to get to cooling centers.
The cooling centers. Yeah. We talk about them all the time, but it's like lots of times those who are most impacted by the heat, like the unhoused, they're not listening to KFI.
No. So we all have to be mindful, not just of ourselves, but also people around us. There may be someone, a neighbor in your community who is elderly, and you have to check on that person as well. Make sure that they are okay, that they have adequate water and they are taken care of. These are the things we need to think about in advance. And also we made mention of July 4th. We're going to have our 5th annual Chateau Les Mots live broadcast on the 4th of July. It's going to run the full time of the show from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, we'll have some sort of broadcast or Instagram live. I don't know how the tech is going to work out, but you'll be able to see the whole show like you get to see the whole show here. And if you don't know, we have an annual bake-off competition, which you'll be able to get to see live this year.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, they'll get to see it live where we have guests offer their best dessert offering.
Oh, it's dessert. It's not people getting baked.
No, well, I'm quite sure.
I'm not sure I'm going to show up now.
It's not mutually exclusive. There may be some baking.
Okay.
Not by me. I'm just saying, because that's what people do in Southern California.
Just seeking clarification. Please proceed.
Yes. It's a dessert competition, and my sister won last year because she had like an angel cake, but inside of it was of an American flag. As you cut into it, you got to see American flag. It was pretty amazing how she did it. I don't even know how she did it. But we'll have a baking competition. Tawala Sharp is the odds-on favorite to win this year.
You know what? Unfortunately, I do not have a kitchen in which to bake.
Tawala Sharp is no longer the odds-on favorite to win this year.
I will be joining.
Wait. You're going to join the dessert competition?
Yes, I am.
Wow. Oh, snap.
Do you want to tell us now what you will be baking?
Well, right now, I'm thinking about a ooey gooey cake. Has anybody ever had one?
Yes, but I don't know what
familiar.
the ingredients consist of.
Okay, well, it's just very sweet and it's soft and it's good and it's buttery. So I can't wait.
Now, you do know that there's a presentation aspect.
Yes.
You have to sell it.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm going to be practicing.
Okay.
It's a lot of ish talk. I mean, they come in. It's almost like a game of dominoes or spades when you're throwing down. If you come up with a weak pitch, you might get booed. Your dish may not get tasted. I kid you not.
Yeah.
I have seen some people come in with a weak pitch and their dish went untouched.
What?
Yes. Yeah. And they will look at you like, I ain't eating that.
Don't take it personally. I'm just letting you know.
Don't come in serious. Don't come in with your feelings.
Yeah, there's some real. There's one person, Mike Downs, who's won it twice. He has a baking business on the side.
So I'm up against some
professionals. Yeah, just letting you know that. Just be ready.
And do you have that trophy again?
Yes, we will. We'll have all of that.
A trophy.
Yeah, the trophy.
That thing is legit.
No, it's legit. It's a full on baking competition. It's a full on show from 7 to 10. And come join us next Friday. Well, I mean, you can listen. You can't.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't show up at the door and get your feelings hurt. Okay. I'm not even sure I'm going to let Mark in. All right.
I'll be broadcasting the address shortly.
See, the thing is, I believe him. He's twisted like that.
Everybody show up. You'll be welcome, and there'll be plenty to eat and drink for everybody.
In the way that Tawala always gives out my social media, Mark would mess around and give out my real address.
Yes. But now more than ever, we need to give it out at Mr. Mo Kelly on all platforms so you can tune in and watch us live.
I like how you think.
Yes.
It's later with Mo Kelly. We have a Waymo update. We have a Volkswagen Robotaxi introduction. And I have a Waymo personal anecdote. That's all next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mr. Mo Kelly, he warns us all. Says autonomous vehicles might be our downfall. But then Tawala comes on and claims it's all under control. He says Mo Kelly is wrong,
Kelly live on social media everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Couple of stories with Waymo. I want to start with my personal anecdote. I was driving yesterday. I was driving down Prairie. It's going southbound on Prairie. And there is a left turn turning onto Century right across the street from Intuit Dome. They have this single left lane, which is really dumb by an arena. You need to have a double left turn lane. People are piling into that left turn lane, that single lane, and then you have the people in the next lane over trying to dive in because there's not enough room for all the cars who want to turn left. Going south on Prairie. There was a Waymo in that first lane, which is going straight, which would have been a second turn lane. And it was seemingly driving straight. And then at the last second, put on its blinker. I'm directly next to it. And I guess they call it the number 2 lane. Everyone is turning left onto Century Boulevard, eastbound Century Boulevard from Prairie. And then the Waymo said, F it. I can't get in the left turn lane. I'll just go ahead and mirror the left turn lane as if there was a secondary left turn lane and turn parallel to all the other cars. People started honking. I went through the intersection. I couldn't pull out my phone to start recording it. That would have been kind of, contradictory to do something really dangerous, talking about a Waymo doing something dangerous. I know someone had to got some video of it. It was so egregious. It was so dangerous.
Oh my God. The level
People could have
of
died.
extras you're putting on this, it's ridiculous.
It was illegal.
We already said that Waymos are adopting more human-like driver practices, which is literally what I saw today as I was legally in the left turn hand lane on Devonshire to go to, what is it, Sepulveda, so I could get on down onto the freeway.
I know exactly
and a car literally zoomed around all of us and just straight. No, hell no. It was a driver in a Denali. Just zoomed right around all of us and sped all into traffic. And everyone is like beep. We're all like, what the hell is your problem?
Bad human behavior is not a plus.
And the driver didn't even get anywhere. So I'm like, hey, guess what Waymo's doing? Waymo's like, you know what? F it. If this is how you humans are going to drive, well, let my AI catch up to you all and just join in the fun.
And that's good?
Right.
You're rooting for that?
No, all I know is I saw a car literally go through a red light. And here's the thing. It paused. It paused. It's like there's not enough time to get to get through the yellow. So it got to the line.
The limit line.
At the yellow and then said, F it, zoomed right on through the intersection after it turned red. Like, what was that about?
Okay.
I mean, are we stopping people from driving? No, we're not. So then we're not.
Actually, we are. If there was a cop, yes.
No, if.
Right. But it doesn't mean it's legal.
If my aunt was a man, it'd be my uncle. All I'm saying is that doesn't
can be
matter.
arranged today.
That doesn't matter. All I'm saying is you're bringing up nonsensical things to bring up this ridiculous case against Waymo.
No, your original argument was that Waymo was safer than human drivers.
No, it still is. Because did the Waymo get into an accident?
No, it's just because someone was driving 85.
I don't want to hear
it was
about
dangerous and reckless.
I don't want to hear about could it.
It was dangerous
did
and
it.
reckless.
Oh, it's the old did they die argument?
Right.
Yeah.
It is. That's
Did
exactly
they?
what it was.
Did they? No one died.
All I'm saying is I saw firsthand.
And who are you? So you're the one that's busy trying
I'm
to call the police on someone with their phone out.
Look, I've already. I pulled up my phone.
Officer, I am witnessing someone texting while driving. Officer, I don't like it.
I would have done it. You know what? And I had a mind to record it, and then all
you would have been is a rat.
No, say all the focus would have been on me. What are you doing, filming a dangerous incident by exhibiting dangerous behavior?
What? Then don't do it. Now you're here. You're here safe.
In other Waymo news, 2 people were shot in a Waymo. I'm not going to blame Waymo, but a human driver would have gotten away. I'm just saying. 2 juveniles were injured after Waymo was shot at multiple times in Santa Monica Sunday night. Hey, I wonder if they were drinking outside.
Ooh, wow.
What is that, like a triple word score if they were?
I'm just wondering, because Santa Monica Police Department said they received the call around 11:30 p.m. about a shooting near 2nd and Broadway. That's the zone.
Yeah, that's the zone.
When officers arrived, they found 2 people who had been struck by gunfire. The individuals were taken to a hospital, and their conditions remain unknown. A spokesman for Waymo said a rider was shot while the car was stopped at the intersection.
Someone, you know what that sounds like? Someone who left the drinking zone, buzzed, saw Waymo like, move out of my way, you filthy Waymo, and took a shot at it.
Look, all I'm saying is, I don't believe it's a coincidence that it happened specifically in that location. That's all I'm saying. And Volkswagen has unveiled a Robotaxi designed to compete with Uber, specifically here in Los Angeles, Stefan. The first 500 will be delivered this year. Next year, Stefan. Volkswagen is one of the last from its industry to still harbor ambitions, as the story goes, in the fledgling market for autonomous ride-hailing McKinsey. And their estimates could grow as much as $500 billion over the next 10 years. Stefan, you might be out of a job.
It's kind of pushing me up against the wall. I can tell that much.
And VW aims to be a supplier and leave the actual business of managing the fleets to others, such as Uber. So this is what they're going to do to specifically replace human drivers under the banner of Uber.
We can stop all this. I want everybody to go home and watch a movie called Colossus, The Forbin Project tonight, and realize that the time to stop our robot overlords from taking over is before they take over.
Mark, no one's going to go home and download Tubi tonight so they can watch your movie.
Nobody is.
You can mock me all you want, but just wait till we're all like
you
on
said
the...
you said I can mock you all I want?
But it won't make any difference because we're all going to be enslaved to Ultron.
Maybe. But you know what? Ultron did pick some people.
You did?
Oh, what, and you're hedging your bets then?
You never know, Mark.
Okay, all right.
Someone's has to be around
Bebop,
after the
boobop,
pop.
bebop.
Yeah.
You sexy robot.
I'm just going to stay right there with I can mock Mark as much as I want.
Well, you can try.
Oh, now you have a caveat.
Well, I mean, the
I
fact
got
that
modifiers.
the fact that I'm right about this might be a minor speed bump for you.
I don't know if you're actually right about this. I don't know. There's so much AI in what we use on a day-to-day basis that you obviously approve of or don't necessarily know of. I mean, if you turned on any type of GPS in the past 5 or 6 years, that's definitely AI.
I lived without it before. I can live without it again. I don't
but you're
need
not
it. I don't
presently
want it.
living without it. That means you're living with it.
Well, there are all sorts of insidious ways AI is inflicted on us. I don't want them. If I could...
Throw your phone away.
No, I need the phone.
And that's how it begins.
But I don't have the new one with the AI built into it. There are apps. But I mean, it's like saying, you know, if you don't like X, leave the country or something. There are some things that are just so much part of society now that to function, you've got to deal with them in your life and resist them where you can.
Mark, you know that all of your apps will pretty soon in short order become outdated and unusable because all phones right now, all phones are switching over to AI programming. That's
Total.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's correcto.
So I'm just saying.
Unless you go back to like a flip phone.
I mean,
Right.
you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to go out to. You're gonna have to have a
Wall
just
phone.
a phone, no smartphone. It just dials
Touch tone.
and maybe sends a text. I don't know.
Just a pair of tin cans and a string. Listen, the bill's going to come due for all this AI stuff. And you guys are
You
going to
did
wish...
not just quote Dr. Strange.
You are going to wish that you had listened to me.
The bill's gonna come.
I am never going to wish I listened to Mark Ronner. That is never going to come out of my mouth. Never, ever. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 live everywhere. Now, iHeartRadio app and all of social media.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on social media. And at the beginning of the show, I was talking about how growing up as a kid in Southern California, the air quality here was horrible. I remember going to Joseph Arnold Elementary School in Torrance, and we had smog alerts. There were days in which we were not allowed to go out on the playground because the smog and air quality were so bad. We just said, well, that's just Tuesday. You know, there's certain days it's almost like we were living in a post-apocalyptic world where, you know, there's nuclear fallout or something. Can't go outside today. Okay. But there were just days we could not go out and play on the playground, or we were kept indoors. We had to take recess indoors. And then you get older and you look back and realize that shouldn't have been normal. And they improved the air quality. But I remember thinking as a young adult, I wonder if there are going to be any long-term implications of breathing in all that smog. I was never a smoker, but if you're breathing in that smog for I don't know how many years, you could probably develop some lung issues. And then I came across this survey, and this new study ranks the best states in the nation for lung health, and it's citing lower smoking rates, cleaner air, and more favorable environmental conditions compared to the rest of the country. And this research was conducted by Opera Beds. I have no idea who they are. I'm just here for the ranking. And it analyzed a wide range of health and environmental data across all 50 states to determine where Americans are least likely to develop chronic respiratory issues, including COPD. The study looked at smoking prevalence, levels of air pollution, toxic chemical emissions, humidity levels, and historical data on COPD rates in both men and women. So here we go. The top 10 states for lung health. Number 10. New Jersey. They came in number 10. I have to work on my New Jersey accent. Number 9. Rhode Island checks in at number 9. Top state for lung health. Number 8. Connecticut. And I still cannot spell that state, that or Massachusetts, to this day. I always get it wrong. Always. Number 7. South Dakota. That sounds about right. But check out number 6. California comes in at number 6. I'm not ever going to get COPD or lung cancer, according to this. How do we beat out South Dakota? You think the air would be better in South Dakota, right? Guess not.
We're above New Jersey.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
We've been cleaning up. We've been cleaning up out
I
here.
guess so. Number 5. Nebraska. Number 4. Maryland. Yeah, I can see that. If you've ever been to Maryland, the amount of greenery all over that state, it's almost rural. You would think that it isn't, but it very much so is. Number 3. New Mexico. I can see that. I spent a little time there. My wife's from New Mexico. Number 2 of the top 10 states for lung health. I thought this state would have been number 1, Hawaii, but it's not. And coming in at number 1 of the top 10 states for lung health. Colorado.
Yeah.
With all that weed smoke.
Yeah.
And plus, it's the elevation.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I got very quickly the bottom 10 states for lung health. I won't do the drum roll, but they're pretty predictable. Coming in at number 10, working our way down, Kentucky. You may notice a pattern here. Number 9, Mississippi. Number 8, Louisiana. Anyone notice a pattern yet?
What to make of this?
Number 7, Tennessee. Number 6, Nevada. You know how much they smoke in Nevada?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not higher.
Number 5, Michigan.
Okay.
That kind of surprises me. Number 4, Pennsylvania. Number 3, Alaska. That tracks. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Number 2, Ohio. And coming in at number 1, any guesses, Mark? Any guesses, Mark?
For the worst,
Yes.
it's got to be someplace in the South. Let's say Louisiana.
No, that was number 8.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to listen next show.
The worst state in the union for lung health, Indiana.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
I believe it.
Yeah.
I lived there. I smelled it there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So don't move to Indiana. for anything.
Ohio, in some parts of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Alaska kind of shocked me though, because it's just I figured it's so cold it would kind of keep the contamination down.
I have no idea. I think, don't they smoke a lot in Alaska?
And aren't
serious.
there factories like
Yeah.
oil refineries and stuff like that? Like all that
That would
pumping
make
into the
sense.
air?
If you can see Russia from your house, you've got to smoke just to deal with the stress.
Look, I should tell you about some of the interesting mail I got in my social media this week. And I tell you.
You
folks,
mean at Mr. Mokelly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it later. Oh, by the way, Tuala has an admirer in the YouTube chat.
He sure does.
Oh, do tell. Who is this?
Lori C. I'm not going to give her last name.
Lori C.
Lori in Motown says Tuala's hot.
Well, thank you, Lori C. in Motown.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the compliment. I truly do.
And in the words of Missy Elliott, get your freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freak on.
She ain't say all that.
KFIM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.